Every small town in Vermont seems beautiful at first glance. Historic buildings line the streets, green mountains stretch in every direction, and the atmosphere feels so peaceful that it is hard to imagine any place here being truly bad. But that is exactly what makes Vermont interesting. Behind the similar scenery, each town can have a very different reality. Some are growing stronger, becoming wealthier, and attracting new residents. Others have lost industries, watched younger generations leave, and are still trying to catch up. So which small towns really offer the best quality of life, and which ones deserve a second thought before you decide to live there? From the outside, Enosburg Falls looks like the kind of quiet village people imagine when they dream about life in Vermont. But behind that peaceful setting, the town still faces real economic challenges. Jobs are mostly tied to agriculture, retail, and small local businesses, while higher-paying career options remain limited. Because of that, many younger residents eventually move to places with better long-term prospects. The median household income is around $50,000. Enosburg Falls is still considered safe, with violent crime being rare, just like in many small Vermont towns. The main issue is not crime, but a slow-moving economy and population growth that has remained mostly stagnant. For anyone looking for career growth and stronger future opportunities, Enosburg Falls still has limitations that are hard to ignore. Lyndonville is often a stop for travelers heading toward the mountains of the Northeast Kingdom, but fewer people choose to settle here permanently. Most jobs are still concentrated in education, healthcare, retail, and small businesses, which means high-paying career paths are limited. The median household income is around $58,000, still below Vermont's average, while economic growth remains slow. The population has also stayed fairly flat because many young graduates leave for cities with better job opportunities. In terms of safety, Lyndonville remains relatively secure, with crime rates lower than the national average. It has a friendly community and the rural scenery Vermont is known for, but limited jobs and a lack of new investment keep Lyndonville from competing with the state's more successful small towns. Hardwick was once known as one of Vermont's granite industry centers. When that industry was strong, this small town benefited from steady jobs and economic activity. But as the stone industry faded, Hardwick had to rebuild its identity around something else. Today, its economy depends more on small businesses, farming, and local food production. Hardwick was even called a Vermont food hub because of its network of farmers and local producers. Still, that progress has not fully solved its economic struggles. The median household income is around $37,000, below the state average, and higher-paying jobs remain limited. On the positive side, Hardwick is fairly safe, with low violent crime. Newport has one of the most beautiful settings in Vermont, sitting beside Lake Memphremagog and close to the Canadian border. But that scenery has not been enough to create a strong economy. Newport is not considered dangerous, but its crime rate is slightly higher than the state average. The population has barely grown for decades, partly because many young people leave for stronger job markets. Newport still depends heavily on service work, seasonal tourism, and cross-border trade, while business growth remains slow. The median household income is around $54,000. Springfield's past is much stronger than its present. Once known as Precision Valley, it was a major center for precision machine manufacturing and helped drive Vermont's economy for decades. But when manufacturing moved elsewhere, Springfield lost thousands of jobs and never fully recovered. Today, most employment comes from healthcare, education, retail, and small businesses. but those sectors have not replaced the town's former industrial strength. Crime remains low compared with the national average, though slightly higher than in many other Vermont towns. Revitalization efforts continue downtown, but progress is slow. St. Johnsbury is often called the capital of the Northeast Kingdom because it serves as the center for services, healthcare, education, and commerce in northeastern Vermont. This small town still faces relatively low household income, with a median household income of around $53,000, while the poverty rate remains above Vermont's average. Jobs are dominated by healthcare, education, retail, and government, but high-paying career options are still limited. Interestingly, the town also has several cultural icons, such as the Fairbanks Museum and Planetarium and the historic St. Johnsbury Academy. Although it plays an important role for the Northeast Kingdom region, slow economic growth, limited job opportunities, and persistent social challenges place St. Johnsbury on the list of one of the worst small towns in Vermont. For more than a century, Barre was known as the granite capital of the world. However, the glory of that industry has slowly faded. Although several granite companies still survive, the sector is no longer able to serve as the main driver of the economy the way it once did. Today, most jobs come from healthcare, education, government, and local businesses. Median household income is around $65,000, still below Vermont's average, while the poverty rate is also relatively higher. Barre remains safe compared with the average American city, but its property crime rate is slightly higher than in many other small communities in Vermont. In recent years, the city has also been hit several times by major flooding, slowing downtown revitalization and adding extra pressure on local businesses. Located right on the Canadian border, Richford is a small town far from the bustle of Vermont's economic centers. Its remote location gives it a quiet atmosphere, but it is also one reason why economic growth has been slow. The main challenge lies in limited career opportunities and the steady decline of working-age residents who choose to move to other towns. Although it offers a relatively affordable cost of living and a close-knit community, economic limitations leave Richford behind many other small towns in Vermont. In the past, Richford grew through the timber industry and cross-border trade. Over time, many of those jobs disappeared, while new investment has arrived at a relatively slow pace. Johnson is known as one of the gateways to Vermont's Green Mountains. The river running through the village center, the historic buildings, and the calm atmosphere make it look like a classic New England small town. But behind that charm, Johnson faces serious economic challenges. For years, the local economy depended heavily on the campus that is now part of Vermont State University. The restructuring of Vermont's college system reduced the economic activity once supported by students and campus staff, affecting local businesses. Median household income is around $48,000, still below the state average, while high-paying job opportunities remain relatively limited. Fairhaven is a small town in western Vermont, known for its quiet atmosphere and rows of historic buildings in its downtown area. Compared with other towns on this list, Fairhaven does not actually face severe economic problems. However, its growth is also not especially strong. The local economy still depends on small businesses, the service sector, light manufacturing, and some residents who choose to work in larger nearby towns. median household income is around $66,000, slightly below Vermont's average, while population growth remains relatively slow. Although it has a fairly affordable cost of living and a comfortable environment for families, limited professional job opportunities, and minimal new investment make Fairhaven develop more slowly than many other small towns in Vermont. Fortunately, Vermont's story does not stop there. Some small towns are still trying to catch up, but others have moved far ahead. Some have become world-class tourist destinations. Some have grown thanks to renowned colleges, and others consistently appear on lists of the best places to live in America. Now, let's look at the 10 best small towns in Vermont. Located between Burlington and White River Junction, Randolph has grown as a trade and service center for the surrounding region. Randolph may not be the most famous small town in Vermont, but that is exactly what makes it special. Its economy does not depend on just one sector. Beyond local businesses, jobs are supported by education, healthcare, manufacturing, and regional companies, making it more stable against economic changes. Median household income is around $75,000, while the crime rate remains low. Randolph does not offer luxury ski resorts or world-class tourist districts, but its balance of access, a diverse economy, more reasonable living costs, and a downtown that continues to grow makes Randolph worthy of opening the list of Vermont's best small towns. Although it has only a few thousand residents, Vergennes holds a special status as the oldest city in Vermont. That title is not just history on paper. Even today, its downtown is filled with historic buildings, local restaurants, boutiques, and cafes that keep the atmosphere alive all year. The biggest advantage of Vergennes is its location. The city sits not far from Burlington and Middlebury, allowing residents to enjoy a small-town atmosphere without losing access to jobs, healthcare, or education. Median household income is around $76,000, supported by manufacturing, services, trade, and tourism. The crime rate is also relatively low, making it one of the most comfortable communities for families and retirees. Many people assume White River Junction is only a stopover town. In reality, this small community is one of the most important economic centers in eastern Vermont. Located where the major routes of Interstate 89 and Interstate 91 meet, White River Junction has grown into a transportation, business, and healthcare hub serving the Upper Valley region. Its location directly bordering Hanover also gives it a major advantage, since many residents work at Dartmouth College or Dartmouth Health. Beyond its strong economy, the downtown area is also known as one of Vermont's most active arts districts, with galleries, studios, and theaters that continue to grow. Median household income is around $77,000, while the crime rate remains low by national standards. At the foot of the Green Mountains, Bristol offers something many other small towns do not have: a balance between rural life and access to Vermont's economic centers. It sits only about 20 minutes from Middlebury and less than 1 hour from Burlington, allowing many residents to enjoy wider job opportunities without leaving behind a quiet, small-town atmosphere. Median household income has passed $73,000, reflecting relatively strong economic conditions, while the crime rate remains low. Bristol also serves as a gateway to hiking trails and recreation areas in the Green Mountains, making it a favorite for outdoor lovers. When it comes to small towns that successfully combine prosperity with classic Vermont charm, Shelburne is one of them. Located only about 15 minutes south of Burlington, the town gives residents easy access to the state's largest job center without sacrificing a calm atmosphere. Shelburne is also home to the Shelburne Museum, one of the largest art, history, and culture museums in New England, and it has a beautiful shoreline along Lake Champlain. Median household income is above $110,000, among the highest in Vermont, supported by many professionals working in Burlington, as well as in healthcare, technology, and education. The crime rate is also very low, while its schools consistently receive strong ratings. Unlike most rural communities that depend on one or two sectors, Manchester has grown into a tourism, shopping, and hospitality center that stays busy throughout the year. The town is famous for its rows of designer outlets, luxury hotels, and quality restaurants that attract visitors from across New England, especially during fall and winter. The presence of resorts such as the Equinox Golf Resort and Spa has made Manchester a premium travel destination for more than a century. Median household income is around $74,000, while unemployment remains relatively low thanks to the strength of tourism and service industries. Beyond its economy, Manchester also offers a safe environment, good schools, and easy access to hiking trails and ski areas in southern Vermont. For many Vermonters, Middlebury is the perfect example of how a small town can have a strong economy without losing its identity. The town is known as the home of Middlebury College, one of the most prestigious liberal arts colleges in the United States. The presence of the college brings thousands of students, academic staff, and steady investment that continue to drive the local economy. No wonder its downtown is filled with independent shops, restaurants, art galleries, and cafes that stay busy. Beyond education, Middlebury is also supported by manufacturing and technology companies, giving it far more diverse job opportunities than most small towns in Vermont. Median household income has passed $86,000, while the crime rate remains low. If there is one small town that truly represents the classic image of New England, Woodstock is the answer. Streets lined with historic buildings, iconic wooden bridges, and a well-kept downtown have earned it repeated recognition as one of the prettiest small towns in America. But Woodstock is not just beautiful to photograph. Tourism is the backbone of its economy, supported by luxury hotels, restaurants, boutiques, and many local businesses that keep growing throughout the year. The presence of Billings Farm and Museum and the luxury Woodstock Inn and Resort further strengthens the town's appeal. Median household income is above $87,000, while its crime rate is among the lowest in Vermont. Although the cost of living is relatively high, many people consider it worth the quality of life the town offers. It is hard to find a small town in Vermont with a name more widely known than Stowe. Located at the foot of Mount Mansfield, the highest mountain in the state, Stowe has long been the most famous ski destination in the eastern United States. Every winter, thousands of visitors come to enjoy the slopes at Stowe Mountain Resort, while summer and fall bring hikers, cyclists, and people chasing fall foliage views. This nearly year-round tourist flow makes Stowe's economy far stronger than most small towns in Vermont. Its crime rate is also very low, while public facilities, restaurants, and local services are considered excellent. Although living costs and home prices are among the highest in Vermont, many people see Stowe as the perfect blend of prosperity, natural beauty, and quality of life. Norwich is a small town consistently regarded as one of the best places to live, not only in Vermont, but across New England. Its biggest advantage is location. Norwich sits directly across from Hanover. So many residents work at Dartmouth College, Dartmouth Health, and various research and technology companies in the Upper Valley region. That combination produces a median household income above $173,000. One of the highest in Vermont. At the same time, its crime rate is very low, its schools have an outstanding reputation, and the town environment is filled with green spaces, walking paths, and an active community. Unlike tourist towns whose economies depend on seasons, Norwich enjoys year-round stability thanks to education, healthcare, and research sectors.